Hey everybody, welcome to your Moon in Virgo reading. This reading is going to be targeted for December 14th to December 16th, but you guys know the deal. These readings are timeless and signless, so if the reading resonates with you, regardless of your placements or when you're watching, then hey, maybe it's for you. Of course, please use your adult discernment. If something doesn't resonate with you, just go ahead and back pocket it, because that's the way that energy flows. It might not be in your physical yet, so you may not have noticed it, right? So we're just doing our best here. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me or an energy shift session with me, all of my information is in the box on whatever platform you're watching from, okay? Any hoodle, let's jump right in. What can we expect for this moon in Virgo? We're totally coming to the end of this year, but I do want to let you know that as I'm asking what we can expect for this moon in Virgo, I'm getting the energy of skipping rope is what they're saying, jumping rope almost. So let's see. And I'm also seeing that you are being called to be your own boundary, boundary setter. I don't know, because I'm seeing this lady right here and she's like, nope, right? So you're being asked to really set the tone for what energies, people, places, things, situations, and ideas you would like to have in your space, right? And when I say your space, of course, I mean your energetic space. Remember, your energetic space is just like saying your eventual physical space. So it's really incumbent upon you to practice proper self-care and spiritual hygiene, because it directly affects the life that you're experiencing, okay? Whoops, all right. So skipping rope, jumping rope, I wasn't sure exactly what they mean by that. It could be specifically to let somebody here know, hey, we're talking to you. But it also is referring to the energy. Somehow it's skipping rope, jumping rope. And let's see how that comes into play. So I love this. Chaos or creation? Ain't that the truth, okay? That is the question of the end of this year. Hello, God. Is this chaos or creation? And the question is, hey, it's both, right? Paradox. Why can't it be both? You know, creation, well, things are always being created, right? A Course in Miracles makes a distinction between creation and making. Creation being something that God does and something that can only be founded upon love. So we extend those creationary energies when we're in a state of love. But so many of us are actually, well, all of us to some degree, are actually in a state of fear. And so anything that we quote unquote create out of fear, or a place of fear, in other words, holding fearful core beliefs that we may not even be aware of, that's actually not an act of creation, but it's making, kind of like make-believe, because A Course in Miracles teaches us that fear is not real. We only believe in this thing called fear, and that's because we have distortions on the inside, so we can't actually see the reality that is. And an example that they give is that if you could really see what is truly there and recognize and acknowledge and all of that good stuff, what is actually there, you would actually see no forms or anything. You would just see light. But, you know, once you start bringing fear into the mix, you start having distortions, and then you start to see things, you know, and then that's when we start to see differently. Like someone hands you a pencil, but you saw it as it was practically shoved at you, or you saw hesitation in the way the person did that. No, that's you superimposing your projections onto a space of light, and that's all there is to it. And we're such, you know, in line with these teachings, we are such free will people or beings, being not just human beings. Wow, it's late, but it's not that late, but I have been up since like 4 in the morning, so just bear with me. We are such respected manifestors, basically, that, and people, I don't want to say people, and part of creation, we have this free will situation going on, especially in this universe. This is a free will universe. It's just one of the laws of this universe, right, among many. And because we're so respected, and that is so respected, Spirit's like, hey, dream on, right? Do you have your dreams? See what you think you're seeing, believe what you think you're believing, feel what you think you're feeling. It feels real to you, but, right? So just because we have these feelings and such, and we are so sure, does not actually mean that it is the reality. And in fact, the Course in Miracles talks about all that we experience as not really being in a state of love. Well, we're always in love, we're just not seeing it, right? But it's actually that we're having an experience of the effects of our fear beliefs. So it starts with a seed, core belief of fear, and it just keeps going until you're here on earth and seeing duality and all sorts of things. So anyway, the guides talk about this all the time if you follow this channel, so I'm not going to go into it any more than that because it's pretty straightforward. All right, let's go ahead. And that's interesting. Here we have the Virgo energies. We've got Gemini energies, of course. The moon, yep. So anyway, I wanted to also mention about chaos or creation. At this time, we're seeing the unraveling of a lot of things. But I do want to remind you that things have already come to pass in a non-physical. So what's happening now is that some of us are actually just witnessing that unfolding in the physical, as above, so below, as within, so without. And so right now, things are quote unquote falling into place because it's already happened in a non-physical. So when you can allow these things to shift, like a cute little kaleidoscope, when you look inside and turn it, things just fall into place. If you can allow that to occur, then that would be you not being in a state of resistance. And when you're not in a state of resistance, things just flow. And on top of that, they're saying things can actually leave and new things can come in, and you can acknowledge it, right? Because if we're resisting something, we're kind of blocking it from taking place. But I do have to say, this is such a strong flow of energy that's happening that it's going to happen. It's just going to hurt more if you're resisting. And on top of that, you could be delaying your blessings because you're choosing not to see a perception or a reality that is for you. That's for some people. And there are some others that I'm seeing that the reality has already shifted. And, you're walking on new carpet and you don't even realize it. So there's a part of you that still needs to catch up at the conscious level. And how you experience that, it could be simply you having denial or defensiveness, like, you can't fire me from this job, I quit, or you want a divorce? No, well, I'm not signing papers, right? But all the energies have already kind of happened, and we're in a new room altogether. But if you're denying that you've even changed locations, then again, that's kind of speaking to the resistance of it. But yeah, for some of you here, maybe you've been getting this is another example of that denial. You've been getting mad signs to move from somewhere. You may be actually New York based. You don't need to be, but I just kind of got that you may have a New York connection. You don't need to, but I'm just saying, right? So you've been getting a lot of signs to move from where you are. And when I say move, I don't even necessarily mean moving house. I mean move, like maybe if you play gigs somewhere and you're kind of the writing's on the wall that you're not going to be paid anymore for this, or you're never going to get a raise, or you're just never going to get more time, or just something like that. Spirit is putting things in your way to show you, like, hey, we've got something better for you, but it's time to go. I do see this Scorpio energy here. Some of you may have scorpionic placements in this group that I'm just talking about getting signs that it's time to move on from something, but you're still kind of holding on to it. So for you lot, I just want to say there's also a British connection. I just love the way they say for you lot. There's a UK connection, let's put it that way, for somebody here. But for you lot, my question is this: what is it that you're getting from believing the idea that things are still kosher, things are still as they are, right? Because things have changed around you. Some of you may have actually gotten a haircut. That may be for somebody here who's kind of still in this denial, like choosing not to see that things have changed. Maybe you just got a haircut, or there's a haircut connection there. I heard aficionado. That's for somebody, if not the same person, right? So they're just trying to kind of, tap a few of you on the shoulder there. I'm seeing chocolate, hot chocolate here for somebody. Maybe you're out there snuggling up with someone with some hot chocolate. Lucky you, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah, so make sure that you are looking for the signs. The signs are there. I'm feeling that some of you may be choosing to kind of buy into this idea like, oh, well, I've got time. I'll wait till the holidays are done before I break up. Or I'll wait till the holidays are done until I start looking for a new apartment. Or, whatever this is, it's like, why not now? It's the window is open. This is an open window right now. This is, if you are trying to transform, this is opening back up to everybody. If you are trying to transform and you need to catch a train, yeah, you can be like, oh, I'll catch the next train, or this train, that train that's coming up after that train. But, maybe you're talking to other people on the platform. They're like, hey, man, I've ridden this train before. I'm telling you, the next one that's coming, the one right now that you see smoke in the distance, and they're trying to, let all of you know it's coming in a few minutes, that's the one you want to be on. Sure, there are 2 or 3 trains after going to the same place, but no one rides those trains. And everyone who doesn't really enjoy the route it takes, or blah, blah, blah. This next one is going to be perfect for you, because they're actually looking for somebody to, they bump a lot of people up to first class. So you see, now is the time, now is the window for you to have this beginning. Now notice this chaos or creation card. It says, how you choose to live will be what you'd get to see. Divine and aligned or chaotic state of mind. Ooh, hey, someone's a poet over there. But listen, what are you seeing in your environment right now? Are you starting to see, are you noticing different types of YouTubes come in, and now you're like seeing a shift in consciousness with the ones that you're watching? Like, I'm so crazy. I have so many guilty pleasures, but one thing that I love to do is watch, I love to watch people, like couples or best friends or something, just talking on YouTube, their little podcast, or groups of friends doing podcasts. And I've started to notice that at least in the couple category, the husband and wife ones that I watch, because they're so funny, the quality has changed, right? So some are they're just no longer in my feed. And now the one that I'm really watching, they're just so positive. A lot of what they talk about speaks to exactly what I'm doing in my life. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not. Trust me, spirit speaks through, right? Speaks through everything, the side of a bus, anyway, right? And so it's like, I love how they said this, how you choose to live will be what you get to see. So if you start seeing modeling by good people and exemplification by people, if you want to open a company and you start seeing people come into your life who are doing just that, doing it well, right? Because you can get any old company, you can meet anyone who has a company, but you want to always look for caliber, the high caliber, right? So look for evidence in your life that of energies that are starting to manifest, the energies of a higher frequency. But remember, they're going to kind of probably bump up against energies that are at lower frequencies, because the lower frequencies are here too. The question is, what are you tuning into? So you're the dial. You got to tune into what it is that you want. And this is something the guides have been talking about recently in the daily messages. What is it that you, or was it maybe the other moon readings? I don't remember. But what is it that you would like to tune into? You're going to see everything. But think, okay, it was the daily reading. If I see all these cards on the table and half of them are reflecting energies that I'm kind of already aware of, they kind of make me feel icky, whatever. Then there are these other energies that seem kind of cool. Focus on the cool energies, because they're reflecting something that's in the non-physical that you can call more of in, and it's your focus and your attention on that that's going to let the universe know, yeah, please keep this coming so it can solidify. Meanwhile, the other energies that you may not be feeling so much, you're going to turn your attention away from them, and the universe will no longer fill those orders because you're not sending out the signal. And I think a lot of times people don't realize the universe does not speak English. It speaks Spanish. Just kidding. No, the universe doesn't speak language. It speaks focus, your attention. That's it. So let's say, for example, I'm just making this up. First house is a negative thing that you don't want to have. Like, it's in my life right now, but I don't want to have it. It makes me feel whatever. And then this, what is this? Divine desserts. Looks like ice cream. Yeah. Oh, I like ice cream. They're both manifesting in your physical world as cards. That means they're both in your non-physical world. But if you keep focusing, like if I move my eye first house, or I'm doing something, I'm thinking about the first house, or I'm thinking, oh, I love the first house, or I hate the first house. Oh, my cousin was at the first house, and did you know that in 20 years ago, the first house, all the universe hears is my focus on first house. So here I am telling my friend later, oh my God, I just love divine desserts. It's not something I used to get in first house. All of a sudden, why are you bringing first house back up into your conversation? Take your mind off of first house, focus it on something else. It's just, during my teaching years, when I would teach writing, the students would have to, shout out to any students listening, but the students would have to create their writing, their essays, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, they could collect all their work, and there's a profile. You can open it. Oh my God, look at my 5 essays and my short writings, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I would tell them, hey, as you're doing this essay, please go easy on me because I gotta read it, But think about the quality of it, because a lot of times we do things as a one-off, like, oh, here's my essay. I'm gonna do my essay, turn it in. And we think, oh, because I'm only focusing on this one essay right now, whatever, and then it's done and it's out of my mind. But I say, imagine if at the end, all of your essays were to come and be placed in front of you. How would you feel about the quality of what you're looking at? And I think a lot of people don't understand that's the same thing with your words and your thoughts. You want to save it for the life review when we, go to the other side, do you. But think about it. If you look back and you saw all the things you uttered to people in 1 month or 1 year, you might think twice about how you talk to people. Talk to me nice, You might think twice about it. So my point here is what we're putting out there, where we're putting our focus, the context of what we're doing, the subjects that we're paying attention to, even if it's just at the thought level, the universe collects it all. Right? And so be mindful. If you don't want something, stop focusing on it. That's it. And that's why, I almost had A Course in Miracles. That's why Abraham Hicks always says, reach for a higher thought. Yeah, you have bills. And trust me, we've all been there. We've all been there, waking up in the morning and, smiling, and then boom, you're hit with all your anxieties and you're like, right? But it may be a bit of a challenge, right? But the best thing you can do is literally take your focus off of that thing and reach for a higher thought. They don't care if you think about the ukulele. They don't care if you think about nickels, if you think about cards, if you think about the grass outside. The fact is that the universe is now no longer receiving a stream of energy from you relating to that thing you don't like. It's just a stream. It's just receiving streams of energy. So think of a water hose. You don't want the universe to get that thing that you're hitting there with the hose. Turn the hose to something else. And then now you're allowing time to pass. Abraham Hicks says that all you need is 17 seconds of focusing on something else for the universe to kind of take note and start, the energy's going. But I say keep doing your best and be as vigilant as you can to really get through and focus on something new. Okay. So anyway, long story short, after the long story always, don't think I would never do this. I don't want that. I don't know. The universe doesn't hear that. They just hear the same noun. They don't hear verbs. They don't hear adjectives. They don't hear whatever. They just hear noun. Well, t-shirts. Oh, she wants t-shirts. T-shirts. Okay. You're getting t-shirts. And they might be dirty, right? So just be mindful, because right now this is definitely a creationary time. All right. So look for what you see in your environment. It's coming in. If you don't like it, turn your attention to something else that you would like to see and keep that flow going, and then watch that start to manifest for you. All right, watch who it is and what it is that you're letting into your environment. Because anything that's coming in for you, whether you want to believe it or not, do you, is a reflection of energies that you are carrying in your field, not just from this lifetime, from multiple lifetimes that you don't remember. And so this is where your conscious mind can be a real G. If you become mindful about what it is that's coming your way and what you're seeing come towards you in any form, people, places, things, situations, ideas, then you can really make a decision as to whether you would like to entertain that any longer. Now, this doesn't mean to be mean and be horrible and cut people off and this and that. You're still responsible, again, for the energy that you put out. Is what you're doing a loving thing? Are you coming from a balanced place? Are you kind? Are you, right? You can close the door, but be kind about it and be mature about it. And, right? And so, be mindful of things like this, but set your boundaries. And I'm seeing that some of us actually have issues with setting boundaries with ourselves. I'm one of those people. I'm sorry, DoorDash food is always going to be my issue. I should be saving, but I'll just order DoorDash 3 times a week, right? So we have to set boundaries with ourselves, okay? I am sensing some hormonal imbalances for at least 3 people on this call. I'm not sure how many of you will be listening over time, but at least 3 of your energies are coming through. So just be mindful of that, especially over the next 6 months, or if it hasn't been over the past 6 months. I'm just getting a 6-month period where you should be able to see evidence of that. So just watch that, and fried foods, right? So this could be a time to be paying attention to your diet, but all of this goes back to the point that they're talking about setting boundaries, firm boundaries. It could be boundaries with yourself as well, okay? I'm getting the name Terry. This is another, I got the name Terry not too long ago and I called it. I don't know who that is, but I'm getting the name Terry for somebody here, okay? Terry may or may not have a Gemini placement, a significant Gemini placement, who knows? Sorry, people in my house talk really loud, so if you're hearing them outside of the room. Okay, now let's get to these cards. I'm getting music coming in for someone's throat. If somebody here is a singer, or I know quite a few of you who I know listen are quite musical, right? I'm getting that maybe you may know yourself because you may be having throat chakra issues of some sort, or maybe like there's a lump in your throat at times. You may feel that way, like there's stuff that you need to say, especially on the right side. I do feel that energetically these are mother issues that are coming up. You may actually be experiencing these disruptions as well in the right ear. I'm getting eruptions as well in the right ear. So it's time. What's it time for? It's time to focus on the mother energies. And if this is for you, it doesn't have to be only those who have ear and throat issues, because obviously people have mother issues, but there's a little bit of a deception going on here. It might be one where you're deceiving yourself, because I did feel the left ear also ache for a quick second. You may be deceiving yourself by saying, oh, it's not that, it's something else. Oh, it's at work. Work is the issue that I'm having right now. I'm getting the name Terry again. Who this? I just almost want to say Terry. It doesn't have to be Terry that I'm talking to, but I want to say actually it's the mother issues. It's time to deal with your mother issues, okay? And you know me, you hit me up. Just as I said that, I was a three of Pentacles collaboration. You guys know where I am. You know where I be. You guys are scared. Come get your readings. At least I say it in a gentle way. Look at the Justice card. Yeah, we're gentle and compassionate here. We don't have to blow each other apart just to communicate something, right? Especially when we're dealing with issues that are so sensitive. Like, we need to feel safe in dealing with these situations, okay? Anyway, I did just peep that Tower card. Interesting. I just saw the Tower card. Now it's gone. And instead, look at what we're seeing. Okay, so we're seeing the victory card and the temperance card. Yes, the good doctor is what I call them. So let's talk about that. So definitely the tower has been coming down for a lot of people. But if you're one of them, which I'm sure you are, because it's just collectively happening, I do want you to know that it's gracefully at your feet now. And I heard the word gratefully as well, like, phew, thank God, right? Like, hey, come on everybody, be happy, it's done, it's down, it's down. We told you we'd let you know when everything's done, and it's done. So if you're still waiting for something else to blow up in your face, or for the other shoe to drop or something, I don't get that. Even if you have, I'm getting particularly 3 months, even if it's like, oh, you've been dealing with something for the past 3 months, or for some of you, you have 3 more months to go in a phase. A lot of us have 3 more months to go in, of course, it's winter, right? In a certain phase before spring and before a new transition occurs. You may be feeling like, oh, this gives a lot of time for something bad to happen. This is not the case, okay? Thank you. This is not the case. You can relax. Right now, it's just about taking stock of what you would like to have. It's almost like things are at your feet. They've crumbled already, and they just want you to step out of it. Where are you going? What do you want to do? I see off the side here the 9 of Cups, which is about wish fulfillment. I do have... It's interesting. You heard me. I was going to say I do have some baby news. Somebody is... who this? Somebody is going to be having a baby or something. And congratulations. You know, God is good. Bless your buttons. And your buttonholes. Cute. So very, very good. Now you may be having a baby, or there may be a baby connection for somebody here amidst a lot of naysaying, amidst a lot of stressful family dynamics. But I do want you to know specifically that this delivery is going to go well, is what I'm getting. It's going to go well. It's going to go swimmingly, is what I'm getting. Wow. I don't know if that's a nod to, having a water birth or not. It need not be. I'm also getting this this cute little babe may have Gemini placements. What is that? May? So yeah, so just May, June. So we're just out here. Maybe June. I'm just seeing maybe some June. So anyway, that's coming through for some of you here. All right, so back to this Virgo moon. You know, all the look, we're getting the personals into. Yes. So under this Virgo moon, again, the same energy's coming back. It's like, be firm. Like, things have already fallen. Spirit has already cut cords. So you may actually have things failing around the house. If you have like heaters breaking, if you've got like foundational things not working anymore, or you're trying to talk to someone, but the reception's going in and out, or like just whatever, that's because the shift has occurred already. So energetically, frequency wise, things are falling out of your life, but it's your job now to guard those barriers so these things do not come back in, right? Instead, focus on the future, but just look at how this person is super cute and they're standing guard. And what are they looking out at? They're looking out at the things that they're just guarding. Because behind them, where I am, behind them sits all of the newness, all of the stuff that's, left after things have fallen, after towers have fallen. And now they're just trying to make sure that nothing creeps back in. Look at the bottom here. Again, we've got the 6 of Wands. It's just victory. So make sure that you keep your what do you call it? Boundaries tight. Okay. I'm just kind of getting for somebody here. Someone is asking, this could be representative of more than one person, because if the guides are giving like a highlight, it could apply dynamically to more than one person. But the question I'm getting here from somebody is like, well, my boyfriend and I, interesting, are still together now. Did we survive this? Are we gonna be together still? Like, is this maybe? So it sounds like you're possibly wondering, like, do I get to keep this? Because you know that things have fallen, you know that things have changed, and somehow you're still together. So you may be wondering if it's a sign that we're going to be fine, or if I need to expect things to pop off. And Spirit is saying, and I'm getting somebody's father, maybe you, whoever this is, a father figure coming in. Because then they said pop off, I want to say pop or something like this. And it's like he's watching over you. So there's a watching over you, and not in a way to limit whatever it is that you're doing, because it's still your life and you still have to make choices, and you're being referred to as princess. You're going to make choices, princess. But it almost feels like the advice here is to stop worrying about whether or not you get to keep this person, and start looking at what's under the floorboards, because I do think that there is some family stuff coming up for not only you, princess, cute, but for a lot of people, because we're looking at foundational stuff. The floor has been dug up, right? Now it's time to kind of like let these things out. And I'm getting an acne connection, so whoever you are, or somebody may have acne that's related to this stuff, but either way. And I think a lot of you may be actually kind of feeling a little bit nervous at this time about, or having some type of trepidation about something in your life. Again, this was just one example. This person's having a little anxiety, a little trepidation, like, oh no, is this relationship gonna tumble? I mean, like, what's happening? Is the shoe gonna drop? And then still others of you have finally kind of mustered up the courage to say, okay, I'm gonna look at my finances, or okay, I'm gonna look at this. I'm not you know me, I keep it 100. I'm just getting a little bit of money laundering stuff going on here. So some of you are gonna have to face, someone here is gonna have to face some truths about something, like either you know someone who's been laundering in your company, or I don't know, or what this is with you, but whatever you've been denying, generally speaking, all of you, it's just time now to look at it. But the good thing about it is that the view has become even better. Things have fallen. Again, towers have fallen, cords have been cut. Things are just, they're down now. And so you can see better. And the beautiful thing about it also is I do feel divinely that things are at your back. So whereas in the past, whoever you guys are, you may have experienced difficulty in looking at certain things. We see the magician here with this light, this beautiful star behind his back. He may have been nervous about looking at certain things, right? Of course, to facing the truth, seeing hard truths. Now, look at how he's turned around here, and there's see how we have the star and then the lightning, it's like parallel. So now you have divine support in looking at whatever it is that is coming, that has been here, and it's time for you to look at. Again, I'm getting a princess connection for somebody, but I do want to let you guys know that what makes now so good is that you're going to have a lot of support emotionally. Right now, this is why it's important, again, to treat yourself kindly, and not just treating yourself kindly, but treating others kindly. I think that's that the world has a bit of a crisis, generally speaking, in empathy and just lacking compassion. And it, part of it is this, part of us in society where it's like self-empowerment. Self-empowerment is great, and that's wonderful, and speaking your piece and speaking your truth and this and that. But I think people are misguided a lot in how they approach it, especially if it's clearly a lesson in their life that they're working on, like it's a major lesson, like learning to communicate. And so they may think, okay, I'm doing the right thing, I'm saying it the right way, but they're just not even at the end of that lesson. And so it's just not done so well, right? And we see this a lot also in gender relations. If you watch a lot of YouTube, you may see different, communities. There's the modern woman community, which is under fire. We have the red pill community, men. We've got incels, involuntarily celibate. Sorry, that's who comes up with these terms. The incel community, men and women, generally speaking, in mainstream, the education is that it's just there's so much division right now. And all of this stems from people just being so much in their wounds that they can't even see themselves. And so when they look outside, they're just going to see enemies. And then they're reinforcing these negative stereotypes. And now men can't even be, respected and loved and cherished and valued. And women can't be respected and loved and cherished and valued because nobody is even able to do that for themselves. And so we just see that all these dialogues happening by all these big pundits and these big whatevers. But when you look at them, they're vibing like an 8-year-old, energetically. They're wounded as a 14-year-old, and you could see it. They're in their high school self. They're in their 23-year-old, kind of first time away from home, but never really had the love. And, it's clear. And the bad thing about it is that a lot of us are looking for insight, and we're on these platforms, and also, oh God, if you're dealing with friends and family who are just the same, they don't, right? So the point that I'm trying to make right now is it's really important to, just kind of goes back to what they were saying in the beginning, be mindful of what you're letting into your space. Just because somebody has a camera on them does not mean that they can be offering, just because someone is teaching you in the classroom doesn't mean, just because someone's a celebrity doesn't mean, just because someone's a politician, that sure as hell does not mean, so you have to start with the basics. What are the basics? I feel, ouch, I have emotions. Wow. Hey, it would hurt if someone said that to me. I better not say that to someone else. Basics. These are basics, and people are not getting it, not getting it. So be mindful of the things that we're getting caught up in. I'm spitting all over this. Be mindful of the things that we're getting caught up in our truth. I got to speak my truth. And listen, sometimes that stuff is imbalanced, right? If you're expressing in an imbalanced way, yeah, it's time to take note that maybe it's just not time to, you gotta, hedge some bets sometimes, or I don't know. If you haven't experienced certain things in life, it's possible you shouldn't be advising, with things sometimes, especially not if you're not coming from a place of empathy and saying, well, I want to see you where you are and let's talk about it, right? And sometimes that's a hard lesson to learn, right? We've all been there, but it's something to focus on. So anyway, we're doing a lot. Look at this. This always looks like a cleanup little brush. We're doing a lot of cleanup as things come to an end. And part of that is about looking at what's been going on in the subconscious mind. What's going on behind your awareness. And that's just something that sometimes we can't scratch our back, but it's itching. And sometimes you just need someone else to kind of like show you that. And that's what this time has been about. But as we move forward, not only in this moon in Virgo, where you're going to be really taking observation of things, but as we move forward in general, it behooves you, going back to the main point the guide said earlier, it behooves you to have a circle of people that you trust, right? Set your intentions. Boom. Set your intentions to connect with the highest and purest of energies, right? Even when you're working with your guides, you're setting the intention to work with the highest of your guides. So don't just start listening to advice from everybody on screen and this and that. Even me, if I don't resonate with you, if you don't resonate with me, then, then think. Like literally study to know yourself. But just because someone has a lot of followers, ask for help, right? Just because a lot of people have a lot of followers and they look like they have their stuff together and this and that, and what they're saying resonates with what others are saying, they all could be wrong. If somebody is not moving on love and connection and compassion and empathy, and if these are not energies, as the guides have been saying for this month, if these people that we're watching on the news, in YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on wherever people are watching this, at your workplace, in your family, if these are not energies that you would feel good or safe or comfortable around having in your personal home, then what are you doing? Watching it, right? So it's just to be mindful, okay? So ask for help. Yes, this is something, and the beautiful thing about it is you're getting help. It just may be a little bit more. It's almost like, hey, I asked for two cents. What's your 2 cents, God? And you just gave me $20, and I'm like, I just need, I need a bank account now to put all this, right? So you're going to be getting a lot of feedback coming to you, and Spirit is here to support you. Now, may I suggest before you go to bed, and this is something that I do quite often, you can ask your team, your spirit team, to lovingly and safely, of course, take you to, learning places on the other side. You can even, if you just want to have fun, ask them to escort you to your friends and family on the other side, or sometimes like, guys, can you show me around, or can we hang out? They do that stuff. They can help you with that, because when you go to sleep, your soul, your spirit's not just hanging out in your body all night. Like, no. So just see that sleep time as an opportunity for you to really capitalize on things. And time is just different in the non-physical, so you can really get a lot of learning in and have a lot of fun. Take new classes, new topics you've never done before. You want to do basket weaving and you've never even done that in this lifetime, and you want to try it in your sleep, go for it. And then watch during your waking life, and in the next days or next week or two, you may start to see basket weaving in your reality somehow. You're like, where's this coming from? That's because you've been engaging at night. All right, so let me just pull these last few cards here for this time period that we're looking at. Again, it's saying okay, the moon in Virgo, but it really doesn't matter. Awareness. Yep, you may be missing something important. Look, realize, awake, study to know yourself. It's all coming together. Whatever is coming for you is coming together. Conquer, you overcome struggles and heal old trauma. A word, ascend. Yeah, so this is what we're doing. Ancestors fell on the floor here. Those who have passed protect and guide you. We're sitting right on top of the ask for help card. Right? Ask, ask, ask. We have the Hierophant here. Ask, ask, ask. So anyway, at this time, I would just like to say, go forth and conquer. We're still going through, the towers have fallen. Now it's time to really think about what it is that you would like to move towards, right? What do you need to release? Prosperity lies ahead. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So you're on track. If you're watching this video, you're on track. Just make sure that you're being mindful of the energies coming in, and be mindful as much as you can of the energies that you're putting out. Okay? Please, please, please be mindful. Okay? And I keep saying that, but I really want to say be heartful. That's going to make the biggest distinction. Everyone wants to be about the third eye. The third eye is very important, right, in discernment, but there's also heart discernment, and that's what we're all kind of working on. But remember, if things are not done with heart and with love, if it's not the energy with which you would like somebody to be treating your child, just think about it in terms of if you had a kid, or some of you who are married, your spouse, then you have no business kind of following those people or kind of going along with those, because you could get the same information or wiser from people who are vibing differently and that don't scare your inner child or don't trash you or things like that. So just be mindful. And I think we're going to see this because a lot of people have been weeded out. And this could be for some of you too, if you notice hey, my CPA is no longer working with me, but Spirit's going to bring in a CPA, for example. Why are we talking about taxes? Why? Just as a dog's bark, right? Spirit is going to bring in a CPA that's probably going to treat you a lot better. So for example, we're upgrading, all right? So anyway, I gotta go. If you'd like to have a personal session with me, whether it be a card reading or an energy healing session or anything like that, you know exactly where to find me. God bless you. And just do your best, okay? Check with you later. Bye.